Well, hello, good evening. Hello to our influencers and leaders around the world. It is your girl here, Anika Cohen. I am your business strategist coach, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Behind the Screen Business Confessions. I am super excited because we have a special guest on today's episode. So, listen, if you are new to me, hello and welcome. I love new listeners. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We are looking forward to celebrating you, supporting you on your journey in the marketplace. This is the channel where we have real, raw conversations to motivate and support leaders in the marketplace. So I am super excited that we have another amazing guest that is here to share their story, their message, and their strategy. Come on here, somebody. One thing I know to be true is that we all have a story, and our story is what allows us to connect and what allows us to be a help, to be an inspiration, to be a voice. Come on here, somebody, to someone else. So I am super excited that we have this guest here with us. She is one of our honorees at the Influencers on the Rise Brunch and Gala that we are hosting in March of 2025. So listen, if you are a leader around the world and we want to celebrate you, we want to invite you to the Influencers on the Rise Brunch and Gala. It's going to be hosted in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm super excited. This is our second annual event, and it's where we celebrate leaders around the world who are doing the work, who are serving their communities, who said yes to their God-given assignment, who said yes to an assignment that is greater and bigger than themselves. And so I love to shine a light on our everyday leaders, people who are putting in the work. They are creating the time. Come on here, somebody. They are doing it when they don't feel like it. Come on here, somebody. But they said yes. And so I'm super excited that we have this guest. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to bring to the virtual stage Miss Shonte. Woo, 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 woo. Hello and good evening.
Hello and good evening. Thank you for having me. It is such an honor and a pleasure. I don't take it lightly when somebody invites me to their platform because it could have been somebody else. Um,
Listen, we are so honored to have you here with us. I love to speak to our leaders around the world. We have this beautiful thing called social media, right, that allows us to connect and brings us together. And so here we are, we're coming together for the Influencers on the Rise Brunch and Gala. She's one of our honorees. And here is the kicker. She has no idea the award she is going to be presented. Okay. We kept that a secret, but she said yes. And I'm super excited about that. And I can't wait to meet her in person. And so the first question that I want to ask you, Miss Shonte, is who is Shonte?
Shante is a young woman who is thriving and striving to make it through the marketplace, to get her message to every woman that's willing to listen. I've been through the struggle. I've been through the crying. I've been through the nobody likes me. The world hates me. Everybody's against me. I've been through all of that. And I had to suffer through that to get to where I am because healing is painful. People say heal, but healing hurts. Um, I grew up, I'm the middle child of four children that my mother has. Um, and I'm the black sheep of the family, a first generation college graduate. I've been breaking all the generational curses that they put on my name, and I'm just trying to continue to do that. I am the person that was running from God, and He did a whole lot of things to say, "Girl, stop running." And I had to go sit down somewhere and just suffer and sulk and realize that I cannot do this on my own. I need God. Um, so Shonte is a woman that's striving in the marketplace to teach other women how to communicate and build relationships, because I struggle with that. I was the person that was sitting in the room in the back. I don't want nobody talking to me. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm whispering, like, what they say? Oh, I
Right.
think that idea. I didn't want to be recognized, but then I had to realize that God gave me a message. He put me through all of this because no other person could have went through and endured and came out the way that I did. So it was intended for me to go through and talk about it so I could free some other people. So
I know
communication
that's right.
is my thing. It's my passion because I suffered a long time without effectively communicating, not knowing how to build relationships, not knowing to thrive in relationships, and not knowing how to tell people exactly what I wanted and what I needed.
Mm. Well, listen to that. It says Shante the voice. Okay. One thing I know is that your voice is your power. It's how you are able to speak things into existence and allow life to manifest in the narrative that you desire. So yes, yes, yes. I'm all for the underdog being able to rise up and do what people who have said that we cannot. So I'm super excited to have you here on this show. And so, what do you do in the marketplace?
So I have a group coaching for communications that helps women and business owners perfect their communications, because a lot of times when we are blessed with a position of power, we utilize it in the wrong manner, and we don't know how to effectively communicate with our subordinate staff. Because I've been there, like I worked at McDonald's, and everybody talks about how McDonald's, everybody got an attitude, and sometimes that's true. I worked there at a very young age when I wasn't really trying to let God use me. So that was an age that I was ready to nuck if you buck. And she told me, I don't know how much they paying you, but you gonna do whatever I tell you. And I had to walk away and go to the bathroom and get my composure, because I was ready to go to jail, to be honest, because that's where I was at. Like, I don't understand why you think you can talk to me like that. Like, I know I'm younger than you, and I know you're a supervisor, and I want to respect you, but you can't talk to me like that. You don't know me like that. um
Mm-hmm.
so I want to help women in business, in leadership, perfect their communication. You got to build the relationship with the subordinate staff. You got to show them affection and compassion. You got to understand what they're going through, because every day is not a good day. So you got to know how to reach them when they're at their lowest. And I've been there. And I want to help other women do the same thing, because a lot of times we miss our blessings because we don't know what to say.
So, what do you do by trade? What is it that you do in your career?
I just left a supervisory position in the prison to go be a social worker. So it's similar, not similar. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's still working with people, but in the social work field is more in depth. I'm more in their business, in their house, seeing what
Mm-hmm.
they have going on, trying to help them rebuild what is broken and see it from a different perspective.
So here's the kicker. I am also a licensed social worker in the state of Delaware. And I know our line of work definitely it requires us to have that empathy. It requires us to be able to communicate without bias, without judgment, to put, our own standards and be able to meet people where they are and work on the need, right? Depending on what job you do in social work, you're in the prison, correctional facilities. So I'm sure that there's different approaches that y'all use depending on your setting, but I know the work. And so kudos to you for your service day to day, in addition to you finding your voice, from what I'm hearing you saying, is now you position yourself to be able to help other women find their voice and speak with confidence and be able to communicate clearly about their thoughts, their feelings, be able to express themselves in a way that is healthier instead of self sabotage or avoidance behavior. Come on here, somebody. So, okay, I see why we connected, sis. We definitely have some similarities in regards to our careers. And so I love that. Now, here's what I would like for you to share with us. How long have you been on your journey in the marketplace as an entrepreneur?
I started in 2020, so I've been effectively doing it for 4 years, and I did it scared. I'm still doing it scared because
Say it again.
every decision is not a confident decision. It's like, what if? Or I don't know if I want to do that. Why should I do that? So I'm still doing it scared. Um, but I'm most definitely trying to position myself to say, I did this and I got this out of this. Because sometimes we make decisions and they're not the best decisions for us. So it's hard as an entrepreneur, especially when you're hungry and you're trying to get to the prize and you think, oh, if I do it like this, I'll get here faster. But
Mhm.
it does not always work like that. So you have to recognize and realize that it's not a race, it's a marathon. And I had to slow myself all the way down.
Well, sis, let me tell you, you all up in the question, because that's one of the questions that I'm referring to in regards to challenges in the marketplace. The question was, what part of the marketplace do you find most challenging for you and your business? And when I ask that question, I like to bring authenticity to that question, because some people have the illusion that every day is a good day. Every day I wake up and I am just motivated, I'm eager, I'm excited. And that couldn't be farthest from the truth, because we are human too. We said yes to an assignment, and it comes with challenges. It comes with us willing to go beyond what we feel, have the moment, and still persevere. Come on here. So I love that you was able to share that authentic, raw moment, because those are the conversations that I like to shed light on, because I believe if we make it more normal to say, hey, today wasn't a good day, but I still showed up. Here's where I made some mistakes and I fell short and I'm still learning this, right? So I love that real moment that you shared with us, because it sheds light to the things that we should be more comfortable with talking about. And that's why I created this podcast, Behind the Screen Business Confessions, to bring a more comfortable approach to these types of conversations. So what would you say your challenge is in the marketplace for your business?
Um, I would have to say that sometimes I see that there are other women or other business owners who feel like they have to compete with me, or they're afraid to make the approach to say, hey, sis, let's work together, because they think that it's going to take food out of their mouth. Um, and I'm very skeptical about who I'm approaching to work with, because everybody doesn't have good intentions. And I
Mm-hmm.
showed up in at events, and the people that are sending me emails on their email list, they see me and they don't want to have a conversation with me. And I'm sitting back like, you just sent me an email about buying something. I'm confused.
Right.
Like we're in the same space, and you didn't come over here and have a small chit chat, but you want me to buy. I don't
Mm.
know that. So it's kind of sometimes it's more or less people wanting to know, should I work with her? And I think they rely too heavily on people that don't want to do the work to figure out whether or not they want to do business with me. So I'm
Mm.
finding myself kind of like, I'm not going to compete. I'm just going to continue to market my business as I need to. And the people that need to work with me are going to come, but I'm
Yes,
not going to sell myself short or try to sell my soul to the devil trying to get people, because those people are not my people. And I've made it a kind of a habit to make sure I'm letting people know that everybody is not for me and I'm not for everybody. And I'm okay with that. And that's not to be rude, that's not to be disrespectful, that's just to be real. Because
absolutely.
not go to every place, everybody's not for you. And it's okay.
Right, right,
You got to be okay with that. And I've learned that over time. I've had to have people in my life that wasn't my people, that I thought was my people, but those people
right.
weren't for me. So when you learn that, that's a part of the healing journey.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn that, then you look at things from a different perspective and you want to take the leap of faith. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because I need this. You don't need
Right.
anybody to validate your decision. And that's one of the
Mm,
things that I had to stop doing, waiting for somebody to tell me that's a good idea. I just had to start talking to God. When you lean on God, it's a different perspective.
mm-hmm.
Get different results, different answers, and you look at things differently. But when you're leaning on people, anybody who doesn't want you to do better than them, they're always going to tell you not to do something good.
Mm. Well, listen, I think you said so much. You hit a lot of different layers within that response in regards to challenges. Definitely some I can relate to in regards to building authentic relationships within the marketplace, being invited to, stages and conferences. And then when you show up, there is a different energy, and it doesn't feel genuine. And I have been in those predicaments a time or two. But what I've learned is those situations have taught me how to do things a little bit better. So every experience has its purpose, to teach us how we can move forward, because I just refuse to believe that I have to force anything, you know. Um Always checking myself and my intention, because like you said, not everybody has the same intention. And so I go in being open-minded but also aware of my past experiences. When I see signs, okay, then I move accordingly. And you got to be okay to have those conversations. So those of you who aspire even to be in business, and you want to start your business, what would be the advice that you would give to that person, our listeners, that person who's saying, you know what, I do want to start a business. I want to say yes to what God has called me to do. But I don't necessarily know if I'm ready. I haven't yet found my voice, right? You would be that go-to person. So what would you say to the person who is in that state of mind right now?
The thing that I would say to them is to make sure that you're vetting the people that you desire to work with, because everything that you see is not everything that it is. Everything that you see is not everything that it is, because sometimes social media makes you feel like everybody's a millionaire. So you want to work with them. Oh my God, they made $1 million in 1 hour. I gotta work with them. And that's not the case. And you end up fumbling the bag trying to reach the goal so quickly, and you don't even get any results out of what you invested in. So you got to make sure you're vetting people. You got to make sure you're writing down the questions that you want to ask. You got to make sure that you are clear about what you want to do, because it's your business. You do what you want with your business.
Come on.
Nobody can tell you what to do with your business. So you got to make sure you're writing down those questions. I want to work with this person, but let me ask her this, let me ask her that, and you got to make sure you're okay with the responses to make a educated determination about whether or not you want to work with them. Because sometimes you start working with somebody, you never ask them questions, and then you get mad at them. Oh, I didn't get this out of this. No, you just didn't ask the right questions.
Yes.
You started working with them because you got caught up in the lights and the glamour. So you got to make sure you do the research, make sure you're vetting people. Don't talk to nobody about a person that has never worked with them. They can't tell you nothing.
Come on here. Y'all better write that down. That was good advice. Very good advice because that was perfect. You need to do your I always say do your due diligence, do your research. Like she said, vetting, ask questions. Some people take feels as though it takes away from their brilliance, it takes away from their intelligence. No, ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, then you don't know. And then that leaves room for assumption. And assumption will get you nowhere. So, yes, I love the advice that you have given to our listeners. So, this has been a great conversation thus far. So, here's what I would like for you to do for us. Okay, this is our segment where we want you to fill in the blank. Okay, so
Okay.
you're going to fill in I've learned and I'm learning. Okay, so
Okay.
I've learned and I'm learning.
I've learned that I am enough and I am who I say I am and I am a big deal. I am learning that my message is my message and everybody's not going to get it because it's not for everybody.
I love it. You couldn't have said it better. You couldn't have said it better. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited that I was able to have this candid conversation with Miss Shonte, the founder of Fresh Start Consultant. She is Shonte the voice. Okay, so let our listeners know how they can connect with you on social media, how they can also connect with you to do business um, in regards to questions or anything like that.
So you can follow me on social media, all platforms, Shonte Youmans, SHONTE YOUMANS. You can text me at 415-627-8093. And you can also get in my DM for serious inquiries only if you want to do business or if you need a free consult to figure out how you want to do business with me. I'm open for that. And if you just need some tender love and care, I'm open for that too, but not too many times. I don't want you to run out.
I love it. I love it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we are approaching our closing. I again am going to encourage you leaders around the world to meet us at Influencers on the Rise Brunch and Gala. It will be hosted in Richmond, Virginia, March the 8th of 2025. So I'm super excited. This is a celebration of leaders around the world. We are celebrating and highlighting one of our honorees, Miss Shonte the Voice. And so, listen, if you want more information about this event, you can go to choose to live society.com for all of the information. Again, it's right there on the screen. And we look forward to celebrating with you. Listen, because a win is a win, all right? Progress is progress. Come on here, somebody. If we want to sum up today's show, that's what I would say is follow the vision, not the crowd. Follow the vision, not the naysayers. Follow the vision, not your inner critic. Come on here, somebody, because the bottom line, what Shonte was saying is she is learning that her voice matters, that her message matters, and just being aware of different relationships. That's what a lot of the key things I got from our conversation is, just that awareness. As you're building authentic relationships, we have to be mindful. And when things don't seem right, don't force it. Just make it right for yourself and walk away. Not everybody is meant to do business with you. Not every dollar is a good dollar. Come on here. So we can't chase the dollar. Come on here. Chase the vision. Go pursue after the vision, and that will open the door. That will open the opportunity every time. But when you get distracted and then you want to compete and compare, then now you're limited, and your lens needs to be cleansed so you can get back focused and centered on the vision. All right. So listen, okay, y'all know I can go on, but we're not going to take up two more of your time. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I look forward to listening to your feedback on what you thought about tonight's episode, Behind the Screen Business Confessions. Until next time, influencers, I want you to choose to live.